Well, the key thing there is that in both of them, it's most business value first.
Whoa, wait a minute. Did you just say that? Let me hit the applause, man. Let me hit the applause. Everybody, give me a thumbs up for that, right? Because the idea is this. You heard him say it's about what? Say it again.
Most business value first.
Hold on. I'm gonna change that up. Wait a minute. Hold on. That's what that one is worth, okay? Because one of the things, and Jason, you tell me if you haven't noticed this. A lot of people who are involved in our space, do they think business value first?
Absolutely not.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Do you understand? Did you not hear that man preach that statement, right? Because the statement is, people do not focus on business value. Value to the customer, value to the user, value to somebody. And I would venture to say that one of the differences between the reason why people like you working with them, especially the people beyond the development team, right? Beyond the scrum team, beyond the Kanban team, is because you focus on what?
It's all about the business value.
Woo! You understand where I'm coming from? And a lot of people don't get that, Jason. A lot of people don't get that. That's a huge problem. And I don't know. I'm gonna take the credit and say Scrum maybe gave you a little flavor of that, a sprinkle of that. But I know by you owning a business, there was also that that focused you there.
Oh, you've got to. I don't see how you can't focus on what's the biggest value. I mean, you're walking along the street, you see a 20 and you see a penny. Which one you going to pick up? Okay.
My man.
Come on, man.
My man.
Gonna pick up the 20. I mean, I like Abe, but but that's really the key thing, and that's the whole notion about the MVP. You got to make it hurt practically to the point of what are you throwing out so that you get down to the most value, because otherwise, why are you doing it?
I mean, it's what's the point, right? And you've been in that situation, like I have. Like probably most people have that will watch this or is watching this right now. You've been in that situation where you've gotten to the end of an effort and it was shelved or it didn't really deliver value. You've experienced that before.
Oh, it's painful.
Nobody likes that. Even though it wasn't your money, even though you know it doesn't have a real impact on you, people want to work on purposeful work.
Absolutely. You only go around once, so you don't want to spend your time writing software that's going to go on a shelf and never get used.
Yeah, I couldn't disagree with that at all. I mean, you're singing my song completely, because one of the things that I try to focus on in a classroom setting, but more, and the thing that's really, really funny is back then, Jason, I literally had just learned the value of a product owner, like in 2012. Like literally. I've been doing Scrum since 2005 and went to 2012 before I really learned that a product owner was truly valuable because they're driving the value of the effort.
You can't, you've got to have that product owner. I've got one right now on my current project, and she is just amazing. And when you've got, and I've worked with a couple really good ones over the years, and at least the 3 of the 4 I can think of are just absolutely top-notch people that they push for the value, they push for the what does it really need to be, and then when they go through and they're just doing the refinement to the backlog. It's just magical sometimes when you get a really good product owner.
It's an amazing thing. And I can't say to you I've had 1,000,001 great product owners. Most of the times I'm working for these really big organizations and they don't pay no attention to the product owner. But in today's world, and if I walk into a client site, man, I'm like grabbing product owners and hugging them to bring them over real quick, right? Because it's an immediate thing that I'm jumping into. Before 2012, I wasn't doing that at all, man. I was just like, hey, man, if you got somebody and they can write a requirement, they can be the product owner.
Oh.
They can be the product owner, right?
Ouch.
And that's painful, right? Because you just basically working with what they give you, right? Because a lot of our higher ups don't realize how important it is to have somebody driving the value on the ground. Just because you've given an objective, we still need to meet that, but we got to meet that through delivering bits and pieces of this to get us there.
Yeah, that's it. The difference is, I can use a spatula and flip a burger, but I'm no Emerald, right? So you've got to have somebody that really understands it and can really put together some craftsmanship there, because otherwise you're going to end up with hamburgers instead of just a five-star meal.
My man, that's the word. Hey, he said a word there that I have to stop on because it's another magical word. Craftsmanship. That's a beautiful thing, isn't it? I mean, when you see the beauty of that craftsmanship with that product backlog, it's magical.
It's magical. It is. They've really put thought into it. They've put their heart and their soul into it. It's just, it probably sounds crazy to some people watching that you can get excited about a product owner and the craftsmanship going into backlog refinement, backlog grooming for the North Americans. But
now, hold up. Now you Scrum has taken you out of the country.
It has.
And you have seen that some people are not fond of the word grooming, right? In terms of product backlog.
I've kind of took that in, and I use refinement now in all cases, just because you never know who you're talking to, where they're from, and you don't want to offer an insult. And we've got international teams now. I've got, I mean, I can't remember the last time I didn't have people on at least 4 continents working on projects. So,
And did you? I mean, I want y'all to hear that statement, right? That we are working in today's world in a global culture. It's a global environment, and there are some people that will be offended by you associating the word grooming with the product backlog. Now, we won't discuss on here why that is. Go look it up. Figure it out a bit. But we use the word product backlog refinement. I'm glad you say that. So here's a question I have for you. What kind of journey has Scrum, and here's the deal. The truth is, it's not just Scrum. Scrum just added another tool in your toolkit. It's you. We're going to say that, okay? So let's say that up front, right? But in terms of, since you got that CSM back in the day, what kind of journey have you been on? Where's some of the places you've gone?
I've worked on projects in e-commerce across North America for household names. Mm-hmm. It's taken me to Berlin for 6 months to do a project over there for a client.
I've never been to Berlin, man. I've never been to Berlin.
Oh, they know how to party in Berlin.
I've never been there.
In Munich for the beer, but in Berlin, they know how to party.
Wow.
And again, doing the same type of things. And then I moved to New Zealand for 4 years and got to work on both sides of the Tasman, both in New Zealand and a little bit over in Australia. Wow. And doing work there with still international teams, right? A lot of the heavy lift work was being done over in India. When I came back to the U.S., I still worked with teams in India, in the Ukraine. Wow. It's a global world, but definitely, like when you go on a site visit to visit the teams over there, and you end up going, you keep going the same direction until you're back home. That's just like weird. Yeah. But it's definitely, I mean, And the reason I reached out to you on Sunday when I saw that email come out about
Yeah.
the hardship classes is because without that piece of paper, I wouldn't have ended up in Berlin. I wouldn't have ended up in Auckland. I wouldn't have got to visit Brisbane and Melbourne and all these other places. And so, that was why I reached out and I gave you, a belated thank you, even though I did at the time